Hello, my name is Kahlis Mccray. I'm 19 years old from Houston, Texas, and this is my family tree documentary. This is my little brother Dominique. And this is my mother, Kahlis Mccray, who was born September 21st, 1983. These are my lovely grandparents who I love so much. This is my grandmother, Regina Derry, who was born January 26, 1950. This is my grandfather, Donald Ray McCray, who was born March 31st, 1949. This is my great-grandfather on my grandpa's side. This is my great-grandmother on my grandpa's side. This is my great-grandparents on my Mimi's side. And this is my great-great-great-grandmother on my grandpa's side. This is my great-great-grandfather on my grandma's side. And this is my great-great-grandmother on my grandma's side as well.
My name is Don R. McCray. My birthday is March the 31st, 1949. I'm a retired law enforcement officer of 44 years.
My name is Regina Derry McCray, and I was born January 26, 1950. I am a retired nurse who worked on the floor and in administration.
Okay, perfect. What would y'all say things, can you go first? What would y'all say things that you had went through growing up that we don't go through today?
More of a racism time. We came up when there was white water fountains, black water fountains, colored for supposedly for blacks, white for Caucasians.
The time we grew up in was restrictive toward the African American population. I remember riding on the bus downtown with my grandmother on the back of the bus. If I needed to buy food, I would have to go downstairs at Cressett's. However, I always used whichever fountain I wanted to. I didn't go by the labels.
She was a rebel.
It was a good time. I had Anglo neighbors, so I grew up with them. And I had black neighbors, so I learned how to work in both cultures back in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
You didn't get to know your grandparents on my side of the family. You didn't get to know Grandma Adine. You got to know Grandma Nana and Grandpa.
No, she didn't.
Papa. Huh?
Well, I knew of them.
She knew more of them.
Nana.
I knew of them, though.
Yeah.
I knew more of them.
And, but you later benefit killing a relationship with my father, which was Grandpa Frank and Grandma Ann, and I think there was a good influence and a positive outcome.
You came after, you were born after both my parents died. And we've only told you about them.
Oh my God.
But my father was an anxious man. He liked perfection. And he was always prepared. My mother was always prepared. She was organized, meticulous. And between those two, they have driven me crazy in my personality for expecting things that others may not give back.
While we're on that, maybe you want to talk about the grocery store or Flatonia, any of that?
Okay.
Anything?
When I grew up, well, my grandparents was sent to Houston. They moved to Houston one from Muldoon and one from Armstrong Colony. Their parents gave them enough money to get a house. And my grandfather opened up a little cafe. My big mama got a beauty license, and she walked around Houston pressing hair for 25 cents a head. Then she saved her money. She was the entrepreneur. She built them a big 2-story house, and my grandfather a grocery store. And we provided groceries for everybody in the neighborhood. He was an excellent butcher, and at age 15, I started working in the store. I became my grandfather's helper. My big mama told me how to make sure we collected money. My grandfather had a compassionate heart, a real compassionate heart, and he thought I was too hard sometimes. But my grandfather's family, they were all Christian people. My big mama's family as well, but my grandfather's family, they were mostly deacons. We go to the country, Armstrong Colony, and they keep us, we had to take a white dress, and my Aunt Mozella, my grandfather's sister, she'd take us to every church activity that it was, and we kept washing her the white dress and keep wearing it. And I just believe I came from a good family.
Where was the grocery located at?
It was in Houston Heights on 9th Street, 905 West 9th Street. And my parents amassed property in the Heights, and they left a legend for their 3 children as well as their grandchildren.
Legacy.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about Granny.
Sorry.
Granny, she was a sharecropper's family, but she made her way to Houston, and she worked as a domestic person. But if you went to her house and looked at her clothes, you'd think
she was eloquent.
She was a millionaire. She was an excellent seamstress, and she was my angel. She always took care of me. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's making me but she was stern, and she taught us the Bible. But we had to be obedient. She didn't play. She had beautiful artifacts in her house. But as much as my brother and I would play, we knew not to touch certain things.